We read 4 thrillers this week, and honestly, I don't think either of us are okay. Some of these books had twists, some had trauma, and one of them felt like it was personally attacking me. We've got The Couple Next Door, Nothing Tastes So Good, The Patient's Secret, and Where He Can't Find You. And we have thoughts.
Like, why are we trusting these people? Why is everybody lying? And why do we keep doing this to ourselves? We're talking about what worked, what absolutely did not work, and assigning stabby ratings based on vibes, chaos, and emotional damage, because some of these books deserve all the stars and some deserve to be left in a locked room and left for dead. Okay, let's slay these books. Welcome back to Book Slayers, the podcast where we read the books so you don't have to, although you definitely will want to when we are finished. We are your hosts, the resident fiction gremlins, professional readers, and full-time judges of fictional decisions. And today's episode is our mini thriller book pod, which means, yes, we put ourselves through 4 thrillers this week for your entertainment and, for one, my suffering. Today, we're diving into The Couple Next Door, Nothing Tastes So Good, The Patient's Secret, and Where He Can't Find You. Here, we will be breaking down what worked, what absolutely did not work, and what made us stare at the wall and reconsider our life choices. We're going to see whether or not our stabby ratings were correct with our predictions last week. Let's get to it.
Ooh, should we do The Couple Next Door?
Okay, let's do it.
How do you pronounce the name again? Shari, Lapena?
Shari, Lapena.
Shari, Lapena. I can never say
Shari,
it right.
Lapena!
Yeah. Okay, that was very exciting. Yeah. I think I audiobooks this one. Do you know what? I read this a couple of weeks ago, so I'm even now like refreshing my memory. I feel like it went good. The story is based around there's a couple, they live next door to another couple. They've got a new baby. I can't remember how old the baby is, but it's a baby.
6 months.
6 months, thank you. And they've arranged to go around for dinner, but they had a babysitter come in. Babysitter cancelled. So they decide, because they're next door, they're just going to take the baby monitor and they're going to check the baby every half hour. Baby goes missing. Ugh. Do you know what? When I was reading it, I was just like, what fucking idiots are doing this? Are there people that are doing this?
People do this. People do this all the time.
This is fucking nuts to me. I think I just get quite like anxious about stuff anyway. So like I just couldn't. Also, like, why didn't you just move the party to your house rather than go to theirs? They can still cook and they can bring the food round. That's fine. You can still take it back and wash it up as well.
No, I would have been like, you want us over for your shitty husband's birthday or whatever the fuck it was? I'd be like, you either have my baby or you find other guests.
Yeah, because wasn't the other wife? So the parents are Anne and Marco, and the other couple is Cynthia and Graham. And isn't Cynthia? She's like quite against like the kids. She's like, no children. It's an adult's birthday party.
And I would have been like, sorry, these 2 adults have no babysitter.
Yeah, very strange. But so the child goes missing. They obviously call the police. The story unravels a lot. There's sort of lots of different twists that happen through the books. It does definitely keep you interested, does definitely keep it intrigued.
What did you like? What did you like about it?
I liked the twists in it. I don't know if I should say too much, but
no spoilers.
No spoilers. There's a lot more to it than just the couple. And obviously in most cases, I think this is fair to say, I don't think this is spoiling it. Obviously, they start looking at the parents first, because you always look to the closest first, don't you? And you're reading it from like different people's points of view. I think it changes. I'm not sure whose though.
Between the husband and the wife.
Is that all it is? See, this is my problem with the book. I don't find it massively memorable. Like, I had to go back and read my notes today because I audiobooked it a couple of weeks ago. So I think it was good. I was listening to it. I was into it. But it wasn't very memorable for me.
Yeah. So is that one of the things that you didn't like about it then? It was just, once it was over, it was gone.
Yeah, maybe. It's not one that's stuck in my head. It wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad. Like I said, I wanted to keep listening to it. I wanted to find out what happened. It just wasn't memorable for
There
me.
was nothing really. I found the same thing. I'd actually read it before. I listened to the audiobook because Libby had it, and I'm like, "I've got a few hours,
Mm.
why not?" And I'm like, I remember everything that happened except the major twist at the end that I had forgotten, which is like the whole point of the book was that
Yeah.
major twist at the end, and I'm like, "Oh, I'd forgotten all about that." So, you know what? It was one of those books where the pacing just didn't feel quite right for me. Like, I felt a bit repetitive in spots, but I gave it 4 stars the first time round, and I gave it the same this time round. So, it was
Yeah,
decent. It
I
was
was
alright.
3.5. So it wasn't, yeah, it's not, if someone said, "Oh, what did you think of this book?" I'd be like, "Yeah, read it. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
I
good
would
enough."
recommend it for sure. I would definitely give it the Bonnie seal of approval, but it wasn't like mind-blowingly brilliant. Like I said, I've completely forgotten
Yeah.
the major twist. I'm like, because I knew stuff, but I didn't remember the most important stuff. It was weird. Yeah. I definitely like her books though. I do like her as an author.
Yeah, I've got another one of hers. It's on my bookshelf. I got it at one of the charity shops. It's Everyone Is Lying, and I think from what I've read, that might be, like, her best one. So
Yeah.
I'm really
I
excited to read that one. I just need to find time for it, which isn't anytime soon, but yeah.
feel your pain there. I do. Now, the first book I did that you did not read was Nothing Tastes as Good by Luke Dumas. And this one was interesting. It's a horror thriller. I like him as an author because the last one I did of his, it was like paranormal. Well, this one wasn't like that. This was like body horror. There's like, he's obese and he really wants to lose weight because he feels like he's not valued as a person in society because he's huge. Like he's a big boy and he's writing a blog. And there's a miracle cure. So this is like one of the key themes of the book is that he joins this like program to get money whilst they're testing this weight loss drug. And then we find out that he's got lost time. He's unreliable as a narrator and there's cannibalism. You're going to put 2 and 2 together and realize that he's blacking out and there's people turning up like, yeah, okay.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Now, I started the book and I know what this author is like. He tends to like go, la, 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 la. And then you go, oh my fucking God, what did I just fucking read? And yeah, he worked his magic here too. Okay. Now, the book was really heavy on trigger warnings. Like there's eating disorders in there because obviously there's fat phobia, childhood abuse, and it is gory as fuck. If you did not enjoy the book that we did for the Splatterpunk, I do not recommend this book for you even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I loved it because it was gross. It was absolutely fucking gross. I was so disturbed that I had to keep reading, and I felt myself like needing more information quicker because he paced the book really, really, really well. And I loved how the story kind of like unfolded as it was going. I was on the edge of my fucking seat. I needed to know things, okay? But the problem for me is I had an art copy of this book, and so I had it on Kindle. And when they're talking about it, when it's the story rolling out, it was fine. But the blog post, because he was a blogger, were like this much on the screen, and it was like writing in the and oh my God, it was pissing me right off. Like the
I'm reading a book
formatting.
like that at the minute.
I was like, but it's going to be like that for everybody on Kindle. So it's not like the whole page. Now it's like squished in the middle, and I fucking hated that. And I'm not gonna lie, I might have skipped a couple of sections of the blog because I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, no, thank you. And the character Emmett was a fucking oh my God, he was such a whiny little bitch baby. A whiny little bitch baby. I did not enjoy that at all. He had this fucking habit of like using pop culture in such a way that I felt ashamed for him. It felt cringy. And I'm like, I don't know why you did that. Leave that the fuck alone. And it wasn't as suspenseful as I would have liked. Like we knew that the cannibalism like early on, and it kind of felt like we'd just been given the information and we were just kind of following along. And that really
Mm.
sucked because I wanted to give it 5. That's what I predicted, but I gave it 4. And I'm like, you know what? You could have done so much more with this book and it would have been the best book of the fucking year. I was literally like, it's, you know, when you said you were pulling faces when you're reading that, yeah, I could feel my face was like that. I was like,
It does sound mental, and it sounds like a very different type of story.
yeah,
Like, well, I think ones that I've done are a bit more like, what do you call it when it's like family drama?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, no, it come then in my head, and then the word's just gone again. Domestic thriller.
Domestic
I've gone
thrillers.
a
Yeah.
bit
I
more
knew the
that
word
side.
too. And I'm like, oh,
This
that.
sounds very different and very intriguing, actually. Like, I
I
mean, I
have to
don't
warn you
like
because I know you don't
hardcore.
like gross stuff. I know you don't like
I
gross stuff,
don't
so
mind
I'm
if
like,
it's gross, but the splatterpunk was just it was too much of a description, like, it just went on for
okay.
too long.
Okay,
Like,
well,
if it was
this one
just a bit
wasn't like that, so you might, okay? I'm not
yeah.
saying don't, I'm just saying go in with that mindset because I was yeah, there was some spots, like,
So
and I'm
people are
like,
eating him while they're, like, sucking the fat out of him or something, or what's
I don't wanna
happening?
spoil it, this is supposed to be the spoiler-free part, but it's like you I knew it was cannibalism going in because that's, like, one of the key themes, so it's
Yeah.
not like it's a
Okay.
secret, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Still full star though.
I did yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, he's a really fantastic writer. I read The Paleontologist, it was a really good book. I knew I was gonna like it. I just didn't yeah, that was it was a formatting thing was huge. Like, I must have skipped at least 6 of the blogs because I can't read it on my Kindle like that. It was how fucking retarded is that?
Do you know what? I'm reading Unspeakable Things, which I've been trying to get through for ages. And it keeps doing like little tiny squares with this writing. And I'm literally, the Kindle's like on my fucking nose
You
that
can
I
make
can't
it
read it 'cause
bigger.
it's so tiny.
I know.
Yeah, but I'm reading it laid in bed with my cover on, with the Kindle being held on the Kindle holder with my clicker. I'm not getting out of the covers. I will suffer and just lean forward more.
That's still on my list to read, but I'm gonna read that on my iPad because that's where I tend to read my Kindles and there's a
You
bit
might
more
want to wait
space.
till I'm finished because I'm not really sure how it's going, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah,
It
'cause,
was, it felt a bit down, and then I didn't pick it up for a couple of weeks because we were doing something else, and I was like, "Oh, I'm into this," and now I'm not sure again. I keep like I'm like, "Who the fuck knows?" At the minute, I wouldn't be recommending it,
okay.
to
Well,
be honest,
maybe
but
I'll
I will
hold off on
finish
that
it
then.
and see. 'Cause I think what I liked about it was it is based on, like, a true crime that happened. I don't know if it's in Canada, this one, because the next book we're gonna talk about is also based on a
We're
real
gonna
crime.
leave that one till last. We're leaving that one
Oh,
till
okay.
last. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna leave that one till
I'm
last.
so
I
excited to
got
hear what
shit to
you got
say
to
to
say.
you.
I don't know if you're angry with me about this book. This is what I can't tell.
We'll talk. So what was your
Okay.
next book? What was your next book?
I'll tell you about Missing You then.
Do it.
So, Missing You is Harlan Coben.
Yep.
I think a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
people
that's right. Yes, I
yeah, a lot
remember
of
now.
people rate as an author. I had actually watched the TV series, but when it come out, which was probably, I don't know, in the last couple of years, I imagine, I can't remember. So I sort of knew the story, but I couldn't remember all the details.
Yeah.
So we follow Kat Donovan, who, she's a police officer. She, I don't know, she goes on this dating app and she ends up matching with her ex of like 10 years ago who she like really loved, and he just kind of up and left, and it all got left a bit funny. So they sort of started talking, but he started pretending as if he didn't really know who she was. And so she
Yeah.
was a bit like, that's weird. Anyway, so that's one side of the story where she's sort of confused about this guy, Jeff, who she used to go out with. Then she gets approached by someone called Brandon, who his mum's gone missing. And he tracks down Kat because she's been talking to Jeff on this app. And he's like hacks the app because his mum is apparently her boyfriend is Jeff. So it's all like links together, and it obviously builds quite slowly. It builds really nicely. So then it's just sort of investigating like, why is Jeff involved? Where's the mum? There's also another side story about Kat's dad and what happened to her dad. He was killed while working. He was also a police officer. So she's still not happy with what they've said has happened to her dad. So she's also trying to work that out as well. And it all like kind of plays out together, like these kind of all different storylines. So yeah, it was really good. You know, long lost love, tragic death, like some good tropes in there. But yeah, it's really interesting. I audiobooked it again. Audiobooking. It's easy to do on the go. But yeah, it's good. It's just like a classic Harlan Coben. Not that this is actually the first one that I've read or listened to. Before when I've done them, it's when they've done the TV series. So there was this one, there was another one who had Michelle Keegan in it, and I can't remember what it was called, but really
I've
enjoyed
done
both.
them all. Every time he drops one, we binge it, me and Mike. Yeah, we fucking love him.
Have you done? Because we was going to, at one point on our list, we was going to do the Reese Witherspoon
Yep,
Harlan Coben. We
I'm
should
down
do
for
that
that.
at some point.
I'm so down for that. I've arced a couple of his books. I've
Oh, yeah.
done arc reviewing for a couple of them on NetGalley, so I like his writing style.
Do you have a favourite?
Not that's standing out. They're all pretty much 4 stars. I've only read like 4 of them. I did 2 arcs and 2 separate. You know who we should do? Sarah Pimbra. Have you seen
What
this
did
the
she
the show on Netflix, Behind Her Eyes? I know I was gonna say
Oh, yeah.
NetGalley.
Yes,
The book
Behind
is
Her Eyes.
brilliant.
Amazing, yes, I'd definitely
Book
be up
was
for doing that
brilliant.
one of their books. Good
Good.
story book, definitely
Yep.
recommend it, especially if
Show
you
was
already
good.
like Harlan Coben. So, good one to read.
I will do my last one before we move into the other one. Okay. So I did Where He Can't Find You by Darcy Coates. I actually thought it was a thriller. It's not. It's a young adult horror book. So that really blew me away. Now, I didn't know what to expect going in because obviously I didn't even know I didn't even know what fucking genre it was. But it was basically like this small town and it's got like this dark secret. And they just pull this new cop to work there because no one wanted their position. And he brings his daughter and people just go missing. And then, like, after so much time, their body parts are found, but sometimes sewn together with other people's body parts.
Ooh,
Yeah. So they have a good idea who it is because he goes and buys the exact thread that's used on this, okay? But they can't prove it. They literally and he just swans around doing his fucking thing. And it's got like a stalker, like slash serial killer going on in there. Found family, final girl. And everything seems to happen in the woods, but every now and again it doesn't. But these people go missing when no one like no one sees anything. And it's creepy as fuck. Now I love the story about like the woods and what was going on in there. It was creepy. It was done really well. And it was all kids, right? So these kids are the ones that are like they're coming up with rules about not going out alone and doing this and doing that, how to cope. And they literally figure out what's going on, like because they piece it together because they want it to stop. And I thought it was so clever. And the kids weren't annoying, which I really liked because sometimes like 16-year-old kids are like, fuck off.
yeah.
Like, you're an idiot. Fuck off. What the fuck do you know? But I also didn't like the fact they're the ones to fix the problem because they had all these adults that kind of just like accepted it, was just like, oh, whatever. Like, people die and they go missing and then weird shit happens. Like, the whole town was like a ghost town. Like, no one drove anywhere. I don't know why. Like, so all these cars were just abandoned. It was weird. People couldn't sell their houses 'cause no one wanted to fucking live there. It was just really fantastical to me that these kids are the ones that go, fuck it, we're going to stop this because we've had enough. And no adults thought to help. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It seemed really far fetched. But with Stranger Things being a TV show, I was like, you kind of have to overlook that because they started fixing all this shit, right?
That's funny because you went to Stranger Things, and in my head, I was thinking of Scooby Doo.
Really? That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I guess them as well. But I don't know, it wasn't as creepy. Like, it sounds really creepy, right? But it wasn't quite as creepy as I was hoping it would be. After I realized what it really was, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. The pacing was, like, decent enough that I wanted to know what happened. And I think I gave it, like, 3.75 in the end because, I don't know, the ending was just like, I just don't believe it. I know it's a horror, and
Yeah.
most of the shit that happens in horrors don't really happen. Even what was happening with the bodies, I could get behind that. But the kids, like, fixing it all on their own, I wasn't sold.
Hugged you.
But I really liked it. The audiobook was really good. Like, I really did enjoy it. I really
I
did.
quite enjoy, like, young adult books.
I do.
Like, a few of Holly Jackson, obvious one.
Love Polly
Do
Jackson.
you know what? I'm thinking all of them are Holly Jackson. Who done 5 Survive? Is that Holly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
I quite enjoy young adults, and then with them, I'm more likely that one of my kids might read it and speak to me about it. Yeah.
We're going to move into the book that you told me to read.
Okay, so this is The Patient's Secret by, where's her name gone? It's Loreth Ann White. Probably saying it right again. For someone who reads a lot, I can't pronounce a lot of words. I'm realizing it's fucking dumb. You'd think I'd just Google this shit before we started doing this, but I'm clearly not prepared. So the story starts with bodies found on the beach. It's found by the husband. I'm trying to find my notes. Oh, there we go. The husband's called Tom. He finds a body on the beach. He's out on a jog in the morning. He comes back to his house. His wife sees him come in. He goes upstairs and he calls the police. on the way at the beginning, you realise that on the way he's popped into his shed and we don't know why. The son's kind of seen this. We've got multiple points of view going on here. So the story is kind of finding out what happened. And it turns out that they know this lady. Her name's Arwen. She was sort of, I don't know if she's like, I feel like she's moved into that area. And we meet sort of some different couples that all know each other. Some of the lads go out drinking together. They're all like, the main woman, who is Tom's wife, Lily, she's a psychotherapist, and Tom is a kind of therapist. He's in that field as well, but I think he might work at a school. Then they've got other friends who I think are probably all sort of that kind of vibe, them sort of people. Moves there. She's single mum. She works at the bar where they go drinking. So we find out that they do know her. And then the story just builds on all the different things to do with this character, Arwen, and how she knows everyone. So then you start getting your different sort of suspects of who's done it. So like it comes down, it could be like any of them really. But we've got to work it out. But yeah, what did you think then?
All right, I'm just going to say to start with, like this book had unreliable narrators, like the narration, you didn't know who you could fucking trust, small town gossip, which I really enjoyed, and the true crime fiction aspects of it, because this is also based on a true event. Now, it's funny because I had to Google it before I started the book, and it actually was based on a murder that happened right here in Alberta, not far from here, happened in Medicine Hat. So it was 2006. A girl wanted to date a much older boy. I think she was 12, and the parents didn't want her to do that. So they, between them, murdered her whole family so that she could be with her 20-year-old boyfriend. She's literally the youngest person in Canada to ever be convicted of a crime of that magnitude, like the youngest murderer ever. And I was like, woo, I'm excited. Author, she is an investigative journalist. And I'm like, she knows how to write. How am I going to put this? I DNF'd it.
Shut up, you didn't.
I did. I got 70% through it, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And I stopped.
How could you stop?
It was horrible. It was horrible. I didn't care.
I'm really surprised.
It was slow. It was horrible. I hated everything. I hated the characters. I hated the pacing. I hated the plot. It felt ridiculous. She felt like she was a robot writing a fucking story. I know. I felt the same way. I did. I felt the same way. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. And I literally was laying in bed and I'm like, I'll finish this tonight. And Mike's like, how much you got left of that book? I'm like, a lot. He was like, you've been reading for 2 hours. I'm like, I've done 36 pages. That was it. Her writing was awful. Like, I'm not saying that she's not a good author. She was so not for me. It wasn't even funny. And he was like, why are you still reading it? I'm like, because we're doing it on pod. He was like, yeah, but don't you advocate for like DNFing? I'm like, you are right. And I stopped and I don't regret the decision at all.
God.
Yeah.
I'll have to
it was
tell
horrible.
you what happens at the end because you won't know what's happens. But I'll tell you what.
I don't care. I don't care. I know why she was there. I don't care. I know that they had like the backstory of like when the family was found and whatnot. Didn't care. I could have quite happily have just kept going. Like I don't know. I was not vibing with that story one little fucking bit, and I really wanted to because I was like when I first started and I realized what the story was going to be loosely based on. I was anticipating it was going to be a solid 4 stars, and I was really fucking excited. I gave it a 1 because I didn't finish it.
I 4-starred it.
My fucking God. No, I DNF'd it. I DNF'd it. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, why am I putting myself through this? It was horrible.
It was good. I'm actually quite shocked. But I do agree if you're not enjoying a book. But if I'd got 70% for a book, I think I would finish it.
And I normally would have because I pushed myself to get to that 70%. It took me almost 3 days. I should have been finished. I had other things to do. I had other books to read. And I'm like, and I was getting to the point where I was like, I would have rather have read the next 2 books in a series of the books that you 2-starred. What was that one? The husband something or other. I can't remember now. Yeah. The dog agrees with me. She's like, give me more treats because it was horrible watching you go through that.
That's crazy.
But I did not like it, not one little bit.
don't do it. The only thing that I won't say too much because we're not going to spoil it, but I didn't see the ending come in. I was slightly annoyed about something not being explained, but it's because it was based on these real murders because I didn't know. I knew it was, I'd sort of heard something. And when I read it after, I was like, that's why she's done it like that, because she can't explain it because of how these murders was done. So, I don't like unanswered questions, but it's a real thing that was never answered and still not been answered. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And, I can't say the other bit because it might spoil it. But yeah, there was something else. But I would say overall, I enjoyed the pacing. I cared about the story. The only thing is, though, there was a couple of bits in there, like you mentioned about the real life crime was like a 12-year-old girl and the boyfriend was about 23 or something. Like, it was mental. And then she references a lot that, I don't know, she was sort of more mature or whatever. But there's also Lily and Tom's daughter, Phoebe, I think was her name.
Yeah.
She's also going out with Arwen's son, Joe, and he's 16 and she's 12. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like 12 to 16 is a massive difference of who you are at that age, I think. That's huge. 16, you could be getting ready for other sorts of relations, can't you? 12-year-olds, you're not thinking, well, you're hoping that your kids ain't doing that. I don't know why she used, like, she already had the one reference in the past of these murders, so I don't know why it was necessary. I don't really know how much that changed the story either, that being part of it. Like,
I don't know if she was using it as symbolism for foreshadowing of what had happened in the past. History could have repeated itself. And I
yeah,
think
probably.
that maybe that's what she was, but it didn't land for me. It didn't.
I didn't
I
like.
wasn't, no, I don't know. I was just like, maybe. And I don't, if I've made it that far in, I'm like, I'm fucking plugging, but I couldn't. 2 hours for 30 pages. Come on.
That Unspeakable Things, I had put it down to read other books. When I went back to it, I was like, I'm just going to see how much I've read. And I was like, I've already done 30%. I'll finish it.
Yeah. Well, I
What does
usually give, I did. And I wished I'd stopped sooner because I didn't gain anything by continuing. I was hoping that
Yeah.
it would amp up, but it really didn't. It was tragic because I really, really wanted to. Because I remember that story. I lived here during that story and it was absolutely horrific.
No, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Like yeah, it was all over the news. I remember it well. This book just went right in the plopper. That was a big plop.
Wow, I'm honestly quite shocked. But we do seem to be disagreeing on a lot of books lately.
Just lately, yeah.
But
I'm intrigued to
what?
see what, yeah.
It's like we've been doing this since like end of November, December. We've pretty much got the same vibe and feels from a book, apart from the husband's one that you said that I two-starred and then made you read it,
Yeah.
which you liked. Other than that, we're pretty similar and we've been quite different
Yeah.
recently.
I don't know. It's been, I don't know if it's me. Maybe I'm in a slightly different era because I'm a mood reader. So I flit around a lot. So I'm wondering if
Yeah.
it's just the mood I'm in right now. But we've also been picking books I already knew I didn't like. So that's
Yeah, that
also
is true. That is true.
trying to change my mind and it ain't working.
Have you got any plans? This is why I'm looking at my phone. Have you got any plans for next mini pod for what you want to read?
Well, no, I hadn't because what we'd set up was we were going to do the top three thrillers of the year we liked so far and then the three
Yeah.
worst. And then we were
Yeah.
going to deep dive Verity.
Yes.
So that's what we got coming up. So next week, what you're going to get from us is my top 3 thrillers of the year so far and my worst 3. And Betty is going to do the same thing. So that's going to be an exciting episode because I wouldn't even know what to pick at this point. If somebody put me on the spot, I'd have no clue. Would you?
I feel like I've got 2 that I didn't like.
Well, I can't. I was going to say, well, I've got Gone Girl and Silent Patient, but I think there are other books. So I think I'm going to surprise you all.
Yeah, I'm going to go through my list and see. Go through my Goodreads and see what I've got. But yeah, if you want to keep up with us, if you want to see what books we're recommending and what we're not recommending, make sure you drop us a follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. So you can check us out next week.
Yeah, and you can definitely decide whether or not you're more on Bonnie's side of the fence or if you're on Betty's side of the fence, because we are not so much lately. And it'd be nice to see
We're not
which teams,
vibing.
kind of like Verity when you got Team Manuscript and Team Letter. I want to know whether you're Team Betty or Team Bonnie. Let us know in the comments.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to understand this reference to Verity.
You will. You will. We hope that you have the reading week that you deserve, and we hope that you join us next week. Take care, readers.
See you soon.